Hello and welcome to the Diamond Report for Wednesday, March 22nd, 2017. This is your host, Doug Diamond. Let's start with geoengineeringwatch.org. Dane Wigington posted a new article today, Geoengineering, Methane Eruptions, and Imploding Arctic Ice. You scroll down through here, you'll see giant blisters on the Siberian landscape, talking about bulges being pushed up from the explosive force of rapidly thawing methane deposits in the permafrost. Make sure you check out this article. There's tons of really great information here. Britain will ban electronic devices on flights from 6 Middle Eastern nations amid terror threat. ABC gushes over, quote, amazing and, quote, inspiring story of mother and son swapping genders. That's from Information Liberation. Did the U.S. military infiltrate North Korean defense networks and take out their latest missile test? That's from SHTFplan.com. Pelosi says Obama, Clinton are leaders of the Democratic Party. Nancy Pelosi disputed claims today that the Democratic Party is leaderless. Maxine Waters to Trump. Get ready for impeachment. She's doubling down. Schumer. No SCOTUS appointment while there is a cloud hanging over Trump's head. I think there'll always be a cloud hanging over Trump's head when you ask Chucky Schumer. Woman. Illegal immigrant gang rape of 14-year-old girl stopped me being a, quote, bleeding heart liberal. Here's a Steve Watson story, InfoWars. Reminder, DOJ found falsely planted malware at Trump Tower designed to mimic ties to Russia. Dovetails with WikiLeaks revelation that CIA can stage Russian, quote, cyber hacks. So, quote, Russian cyber hacks. In other words, false ones. Feminist moms create hijab Barbies to fight racism. The hijab is a symbol of Islam's brutal oppression of women. Key defections threaten Obamacare light. Speaker Ryan's control of the House. Good, I wish he'd get out of there. Oregon mayor accused of soliciting sex with girl 14 on Facebook. U.S. military tests new game-changer electromagnetic railgun that can fire projectiles from ships at 4,500 miles per hour. Houston officials consider use of genetically modified mosquitoes to fight Zika virus. Yeah, there's been talk about that for some time. Lead poisoning afflicts neighborhoods across California. Children have elevated lead tests at rates at least as high as in Flint in at least 29 California neighborhoods. It's funny, you don't really hear much about that, do you? CNN downplays ISIS-style parliament attack as, quote, firearms incident. Network ignores news reports from the UK media. I watched a stream of that today. It was pretty interesting to see what was going on. It was British Sky News is what it was. Fake news alert. Trump and InfoWars accused of espionage. Trump seeks to slash $6 billion from the government medical research. Why not more? That's John Rappaport article. That's a good question. How Trump can save the middle class. Jerome Corsi wrote that. Roger Stone. Trump is facing a coup attempt. Clearly. Understanding money creation in the trade balance. That is a Mises.org. MISES.org. Here's another one from them. The G20 was never serious about free trade. Fatal forecast. Lyme disease will plague America. That's a Mercola.com article. London terrorist incident happened on first anniversary of Brussels bombings. Yeah, I also noticed that it happened on the 22nd, which is 11 doubled. It's also an important number. Globalists meet to oppose Trump's executive orders on immigration. No shocker there. Russian leader vows to rename city back to Stalingrad if elected president. ISIS celebrates parliament attack, of course. The echo chamber of elite economists, often wrong, never in doubt. That's a Zero Hedge article. NASA's SDO sees a stretch of spotless sun. The sun goes through a natural 11-year cycle marked by two extremes. Here's a shock video. InfoWars' Alex Jones caught working for Russian intelligence. That ought to be a funny one. Starbucks doubles down on military hiring after boycott threats. Franchise took heavy damage for pushing open borders. Not heavy enough, in my opinion. Clinton operative David Brock suffers a heart attack. Media Matters founder reportedly looking forward to a swift recovery. Americans are dying with an average of $62,000 of debt. That's from Fox Business. Here's an independent article. Mysterious new version of Windows 10 created for Chinese government. Democrat councilman labels ICE agents Nazis for enforcing immigration law. Live, the truth about the London attack, what they're not telling you. Russia's smear attempt to shut down dissenters. Obama administration passed a law that will allow opponents to be shut down. Victims of South by Southwest tell all. Zombies from around the world come to Austin, Texas once a year to be preyed upon. House Armed Service Committee declares Alex Jones a Russian spy. InfoWars and Breitbart under investigation for ties to Russia. The roast of Maxine Waters. Democrat Congresswoman trolled for her continuous lying and ridiculous claims. Yeah, she's one of the worst ones. And that's saying a lot. The retail apocalypse is officially descending upon America. Infant mortality rate reaches new low. That's from IB Times. Except until they start giving these kids vaccines, and then all of a sudden the numbers jump up. While IRS made conservative groups wait, Satanic Club granted tax-exempt status in just 10 days. How about that? Shows you where they have their priorities, doesn't it? IRS policy that allowed targeting is still in effect. Watchdog finds. Yeah, absolutely. That won't ever go away. House GOP's Obamacare bill could leave veterans without access to tax credits. San Andreas fault could cause coast to instantly sink below sea level. They've been saying that for years. Video, the truth about London terror attack. Paul Joseph Watson, what they're not telling you. That would be worth watching for sure. His take on things is just extraordinary. And then watch live, House Intel Committee admits NSA spied on Trump. Here's another article about methane, which goes along with Dane Wigington's post earlier today on geoengineeringwatch.org. Known as the end of the world by Russian locals, nearly 10,000 ground bubbles containing methane, 1,000 times higher than surrounding air, about to explode in Siberia. It's on thebigwobble.org. Financial collapse will trigger civil war. Doug Casey. That is a usawatchdog.com. So that's Greg Hunter. DARPA insider says scientists on verge of cataclysmic discovery. It's a YouTube video. DARPA most advanced weapons. It's a documentary. Also YouTube. European dirty bomb threat as Russia mobilizes troops in Crimea. U.S. and U.K. flight ban on laptops announced as highly dangerous radioactive material stolen in Iraq 2015 may have resurfaced. North Korea missile test ends in failure as projectile explodes within seconds of launch. The launch made near the city of Wonsan on North Korea's east coast was detected by Japanese, South Korean, and American systems. High school Muslim prayer room challenged. Texas Attorney General takes notice, but ACLU nowhere to be found. That's a WorldNet Daily article, WND.com. Secret Service removed alarm sensors from fence intruder climbed over. The Secret Service agency needs to be overhauled. We just reported on a former Secret Service agent who went into detail as to why President Trump isn't safe anymore. That's a Gateway Pundit article. Woman who attends UN meetings risks life to expose what Obama's Muslim sleeper cells are planning for U.S. neighborhoods. That's a USAPoliticsNow.com story. Pyongyang military exports directly threaten Israel. Latest army convoy to Hezbollah struck by IDF in Syria contained North Korean missiles. This is only a nightmare. Venezuelans have sobering advice for Americans who support democratic socialism. The filmmaker admitted the left has a weird fascination with socialism, despite the huge failures. Mini nukes and mosquito-like robot weapons being primed for future warfare. Are teenagers replacing drugs with smartphones? Steve Quayle says, they are being absorbed into the global brain. They will become dependent, pre-programmed people who will merely follow the screen prompts. That's absolutely true. On Lost Arts Radio, the show that I engineer and produce with Richard Sachs, Richard interviewed a very well-known expert in microwave weapons technology, a man named Barry Trower. He was part of the British Royal Navy, and also worked for MI5 and MI6. And Mr. Trower said that smartphones are designed to be as addictive as the hardest drugs that are out there. Crack cocaine and cocaine itself, and just pick your favorite drug. It's designed to be as addictive as any drugs are. A simple command allows the CIA to commandeer 318 models of Cisco switches. That's a blacklistednews.com article. Google directors' push for computers inside human brains is, quote, antichrist. Human rights abuse, theologians explain. That's on christianpost.com. Yeah, I would agree with that. It's pretty close. Payless to file bankruptcy as they plan to close 500 to 1,000 stores. As Steve Quayle says, consider the obvious. As more of these stores go bankrupt and close, merchandise will begin disappearing off the shelves, resulting in severe shortages. Yeah, absolutely. WorldEventsAndTheBible.com is where that is. Banned video proves the Watchmen were right as food is being used as a weapon in Venezuela and shows why the entire world should be alarmed. Only time, preparation, and the grace of God separates us from them. That's an All News Pipeline article. MyDailyInformer.com. WW3 Red Alert. North Korea warns Kim Jong will launch nukes at any time and place. NATO prepares for a nuclear conflict. India Now. Massive leaks. Nuclear plant after reactors contract smallpox. Stunning discovery. Contagion has spread all over critical structures. Multiple large cracks found. Experts befuddled. Literally a plot similar to a movie thriller. That's on enenews.com. I love how the experts are always confused and befuddled. What a joke. Archaeologists have found evidence of cannibalism in Spain 10,000 years ago. Ancient feast or funeral. It's on sciencealert.com. Again, another cannibalism story. Keep seeing those. Fukushima nuclear reactor radiation at highest level since 2011 meltdown. Extraordinary readings pile pressure on operator TEPCO in its efforts to decommission nuclear power station. 530 sieverts an hour. That's a 100% lethal dose. Yeah, absolutely. What is it like? I think it's 4 sieverts an hour is a lethal dose, I think. I'd have to look it up, but it's not. I mean, 530 is just absolutely mind-boggling. That is a lot of radiation. Leftist group offers $15,000 a month for activists to fight Trump. Trump derangement syndrome has risen to new heights as the leftist group is shelling out $15,000 a month to individuals that sign up to oppose the president. Communist scum, it says. This is on thefederalistpapers.org. Constitution.com. Where is the America I grew up in? The America I knew growing up is rapidly disappearing. Law and order is being replaced by mob rule. Madness has claimed the country as hate groups who are dedicated to using violent protests to cause political instability. Then it ends. But obviously they're talking about how different this country is, and I would totally agree with that. China issues warning to U.S. bomber flying in East China Sea. The incident occurred when the American bomber was flying 70 miles southwest of the South Korean island of Jeju. Norway, serious nuke issue. Alarm at nuclear plant after radioactive leak, quote, damaged fuel in reactor. Workers immediately evacuated from site. Reactor in a very special condition. Dangerous neutron flux in core reported. I wonder what a very special condition is. Doesn't sound too safe. That's on enenews.com. FBI Director Comey's criminal affiliations with the Clintons explain why he is lying to Congress. That's a Dave Hodges Common Sense Show story. Boom! Edward Snowden drops the hammer on James Comey. Can't trust Comey after this. That's a YouTube video. Turkey, the unholy clash of interests, terrorism and politics, Islam and Islamicists. Coincidence? Monsanto patented glyphosate as an antibiotic drug, claiming weed killer is medicine. It's on naturalnews.com. The big one will be deadlier than thought. A massive earthquake could plunge large parts of California into the sea instantly. It's on the Daily Mail. Yeah, I guess it could, but there will be a lot of warnings before anything like that would ever happen. If you watch Dutch Sense on YouTube and on Twitch, you will see very quickly that earthquakes progress around the planet in predictable, for the most part, in predictable ways as pressure pushes itself around certain lines around the planet. And before there's such a large quake in California that it breaks parts of California off and it falls into the sea. Before that happens, there will be a lot of other warning signs leading up to that. Well, thanks again for watching and listening to the Diamond Report today. I will see you tomorrow.